All right, so we have an LG dryer. The complaint on this one, taking forever to dry. So putty knife, you're gonna have 2 springs or clips. You push them and you can raise the top. Now, once the top is raised, we're going to be removing 2 Phillips screws from the top. Make sure you disconnect your harness and your door light. And you're going to have, I think, 4 screws in the front of the door or the console front bulkhead. Remove those screws. You can remove the front. All right, so we're going to be concentrating on the element, but before we're going to be doing a quick clean on the blower housing. And by the way, those are fine thread screws. Keep that in mind when you put the unit back together. Those are the only screws that are like that for the blower housing. So you're going to remove those screws and we're going to be lifting the bulkhead out. By the way, the blower housing where your lint filter lives cannot be removed until you remove the bulkhead. Once the bulkhead is removed, you can go ahead and remove the Phillips screw, which secures it from the inside or, inside. Now, the bulkhead a little tricky. I like to lift the top first, and then you can rotate the bottom. As you pull it forward, you rotate the drum, and it comes off. Now, that screw, that's a 3/16 socket, and you insert it at the base, and you can push that keeper straight on out. All right, just lift that out, and we're going to do a quick vacuuming. You'll have to do that on your own. It's always a good practice when you have your machine apart. You do a good clean, check things out, make sure that everything is in good order. Go ahead and vacuum anything that does not look good and remove any debris from the blower housing. Check your rollers, make sure they're moving nice and smooth. If they're flat or you see any flat spots, you want to go ahead and replace them. Another thing you can do is rotate the axles on them, which gives you a new surface area to rotate. That's just for maintenance. Now, what I'm doing now is removing that black Phillips screw, and that's going to allow you to remove the blower housing. All right, so this portion is just basically me taking it apart to give it a clean. Wasn't really that important, as most of this video is going to be concentrating on the element. So pretty straightforward. From here on, we're going to be jumping ahead, and we're going to be checking the element as we turn the dryer back on, just to verify the cycling of the element. So just make sure your dryer is nice and clean before you put it back together. Super important. And that's just damp rag. I'm just using it to wipe out any excess dust. This dryer was not filthy, but while I'm there, just doing a quick wipe out. So I'll probably gonna be doing another video on this dryer. This is going to be the insulation of the thermostat. So we're using needle nose pliers here to get this screw in. My Phillips or magnet on my screwdriver wasn't working. So needle nose starts it, and then you can just finish it off with your screwdriver. That was just showing how to insert that piece. Pretty straightforward. It slides right on in, and then you secure it with that black screw. All right, so now what we're going to be doing is starting the dryer. It is on heat, and we are using the door switch to activate the unit. Now, take a look at the element. That's your element. It glows nice orange, and it should stay on for probably 2 minutes runtime, maybe 3 minutes. You can see it turned off. Now the unit is still running, and as the unit is running, you're still producing some heat. That's totally normal, so it does not glow all the time. It turns off and back on. It's how it goes. So the high limit cycling, I call it the cycling, but it's a high limit thermostat, really what it is. It lives on the element, and it dictates when the element comes on and off. When they start to go bad, they will stay off, or they can stay on, taking out the thermal cutoff, which is a safety thermostat. So they can fail in 2 ways. This is the better way of failing. It doesn't take out the safety thermostat. So right now the unit is still running. The unit has not turned the thermostat back on, or the thermostat has not allowed the element to come on. And so right now your clothes would be sitting in maybe warm air to cold. Keep in mind the clothes, as they are moist, they're just absorbing all the heat. So if you don't have enough heat to remove the moisture, your dryer is just sitting there. And I think the thermostat just came back on, but it's taking way too long. Now, watch it again and see how fast it turns off. See that? That is way too fast. The duration is just way too fast. Now, time dry and sensor dry, when it comes to heating, the time dry section or portion of the dryer utilizes the thermostat for controlling the element. The sensor dry utilizes the board relay and the thermistor and the moisture sensor to monitor the runtime and the temperature inside the dryer. The problem is when the thermostat, which is a part of the heating circuit, if that is cycling off prematurely, then it does not matter whether it's sensor dry or time dry, the unit is still not going to run or stay running in heat mode for too long. So I think we're going to try the sensor dry again, and you'll see how fast the element goes out. Now it's on. And it's off. So not good at all. So we're gonna get those ordered. I did not have any, so probably gonna be doing another video on the installation of those parts, and we shall see the difference. Alright guys, that's how you would diagnose that, and that's how you would get your machine up and running. Alright, enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks for watching.